Callie, Lawson-Freeman. Thank you for joining me today from the Las Vegas Review Journal. Listen, this was a weekend of breaking records, setting records in the WNBA. There's so much to get into, but we have to start with the rookies because I feel like they are the hottest story in the WNBA, Callie. So let's start with the most recent record that was broken, and that was Angel Reese breaking Candace Parker's double-double record that she made over 2 seasons, right? With she had 12, and Angel had tied it earlier over on Friday night, was it that she tied that record in a win over the Seattle Storm? But then they played the Storm again. They did not win, but Angel Reese did need to get another double-double to surpass Candace Parker's record, and she did it. 13 consecutive double-doubles. Incredible. And she did this in a single season, and she did it as a rookie because Candace was not a rookie when she set this record. What else can we say about Angel Reese, Callie? This is amazing.
Yeah, I think what really stands out to me is that she nearly had the double-double in the first half of the game. Like she had 9 points and 8 rebounds in 2 quarters. And then when you kind of just take yourself out from the consecutive streak of it all, like she has 14 double-doubles on the season and she's only played 20 games. So yes, like it's 13 consecutively, but out of her 20 games, 14 double-doubles, I feel like that is unreal, And so it's really cool to see this unfold. I mean, 17 points, 14 rebounds. And this is somebody that I'm going to keep bringing it up, but people said that her game wasn't going to translate to the WNBA. So, like, every single day, every game, it feels like this is a gotcha. Told you she was going to kill it. And that's what she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome. And she has a chance to break like multiple other records, Alyssa Thomas had a double-double record last year. She could potentially break. I mean, people were pulling out all the different people whose record she can break. None of them were doing it as a rookie. I mean, it's just remarkable to me. And the reason I just want to take a little time to focus on it is because I just feel like there's been some bad faith arguments, when talking about Angel Reese and this record and what she's doing, and also for some reason the devaluing of grabbing rebounds. So I really love that quote from her where she's like, my job is to go out there and rebound, right? Because she's not thinking about it, right? I don't really think about it. I just go out there and do my job. My job is to rebound. And I think that is important, but it's a skill. She's talked about studying, right? Knowing, projecting the angle that the ball is coming off the rim, getting your position, right? So you're in proper position to grab the board. She's not the biggest big. She's a power forward, but I mean, she's somewhat undersized, right? So being able to bang down low in the post with other bigs and use her quickness, her athleticism, her skill to grab those boards, this should not be undervalued, right? Like it takes skill. And I think she's often thought of as someone who doesn't have skill. Her skills are developing, but grabbing rebounds at this rate, this consistently is something that it does take a lot of skill to do. And it is very important. I'm not going to sit here and have a conversation about if assists are more important, if points are more important. For one, she's averaging double digits in points. So she's helping her team, she's scoring. But also, rebounds get you extra possessions. They extend possessions, right? Whether they're offensive or defense. So that helps your team substantially. And in a team like the Chicago Sky, where they're not the greatest offense, they're not. These rebounds that she's grabbing, they get so many extra points, or not extra rather, but they score so many points off of the rebounds she gathers. It's no doubt that she's actually helping the team, right? We've talked about what she's done offensively. We talk about how she helps them defensively. It is the reason why she's the only rookie currently in the WNBA with a positive net rating. So I want to take the time to really appreciate, or at least that's what I was trying to do, what Angel Reese is doing on the court.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about her being skilled. Like she made her first WNBA three-pointer this weekend. Like she's doing a whole bunch of cool
Two in
stuff.
one game.
Right. Two in one game. I think Teresa Weatherspoon made a really good point afterwards. She was just saying like I think she even used the word skill. Like she's really good at finishing around the rim, getting offensive rebounds and putbacks. Like that was what Teresa Weatherspoon said. And it's putting the Sky in a better position offensively. Like she's finishing with power. And it comes from confidence. That was something that Teresa Weatherspoon really emphasized. Like she has a trust in her training, and you kind of can see that on the court. You know, if she's got an open shot, she's going to take it. She's going up with confidence when she gets those offensive boards. And like you said, I think that, the bad faith arguments, there are plenty. That the idea that she's only rebounding her own shots, which is easily debunked. Just go
It's
look at
only
these stats.
13%. Like, that's
Right, like
not
it's
even a majority. It's not even close to it.
right. It's just ridiculous. Like all you got to do is use the internet. The internet is your friend. You can look at these box scores and things like that. But I think even if that were true, it would still be pretty spectacular if she were able to miss a bunch of shots and a rebound. Like, I think that people are and I think you made a good point by saying, like, this is another possession. Every single time somebody takes a shot and she snags that thing down and puts it back up, guess what? The shot clock is resetting. You know what I'm saying? Like if she gets the board and kicks it back out, brand new offensive set. Like I just think that people maybe don't understand how important rebounding is to the game. I think you did a good job trying to kind of lay that foundation. Like it's crucial, and she's making a huge difference. So I think, yeah, we've talked about how the Rookie of the Year race is going to come down to standings. I'm sure we're going to talk about Caitlin Clark next, but it's like it's going to be interesting. Like Caitlin Clark also set a record and her team won. The Chicago Sky didn't win, but Angel Reese is making
Well,
history.
but Chicago Sky played 2 games. Caitlin Clark only played 1 game. So, like, their records are pretty comparable.
Yeah.
So, they sometimes do things in wins and they sometimes do things in losses. And I think people are, they were like, whatever. I don't want to get into that right now. But the final thing I'm going to say about Angel Reese is just to wrap that up is that people love to talk about, you brought up her finishing. She was the rookie of the month for June. So Caitlin Clark had it in May. Angel Reese had it in June. For the month of June, she's shooting over 50%. Like because people love to talk about what she was shooting. All of the rookies were struggling when they first came in at the beginning of the season to start, right? So look at this. I mean, 14.5 points per game, 13.2 rebounds per game. That's what she averaged for the month. It's not showing shooting percentages here, but yes, like she also was at 50% at the rim. So like that's where most of her shots are, but her free throws have been beautiful lately. She hit 2 clutch ones the other night for them to come and beat the Storm, which was like a really big win for them in Seattle. So I don't really put much stock into them losing to Seattle yesterday. It's very hard to beat a team twice in a row. It's also hard to beat them on the road, and both games were in Seattle. So the fact that they went in there and got one, job done. Seattle is one of the best teams in the league. They had no business even winning one of those games, according to most people. So she tied Candace Parker's record the night she did that. They came up short last night, but they're still top 8 in the standings. And so we've talked about it too, that the standings, like you said, are probably going to determine Rookie of the Year. So we'll see. But right now, both of these rookies are making a big case. Caitlin Clark herself setting records, like you already brought up. So we knew it was coming after the Phoenix Mercury game. After the Phoenix Mercury game, when she didn't get the triple double, then it came like right away, right? Because she had in the Mercury game, she was 1 rebound shy of a triple double. Yeah. So she got it the other day, and I think there will be more triple doubles in Caitlin Clark's future. She had a number of them in college too. So look, there's been a lot of debate too around Caitlin Clark and her record. This is what I don't like. It's turned into whose rebounds count more, hers or Angel's, and and I made some snarky comments because when Angel tied Candace's record, right? It was, no, she's just rebounding her own shots. It's just rebounds. That's not as impressive as assists. Then the next day, Caitlin Clark becomes the first rookie in WNBA history, right, to get a triple double. And I said, oh, I bet you rebounds will matter today. I bet you they'll matter now, right? And so they both matter, whether it's Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's, right? And so look at this stat line: 19 points, 13 assists, 12 rebounds, 2 steals to go along with it, and they got the W, like you mentioned. This is incredible stuff. They rebound in different ways. I think that's important when people are trying to understand the game. Angel's usually banging in the post. Caitlin Clark is getting the rebound. So either to try to, kick off a fast break or, usually a lot, right? That's what's usually happening, is to set the offense and to get it going. So that's why there's a debate about whose rebounds matter more. They both do it in a different way, but she's a great rebounding guard. She was in college and she is now. And so I expect to see more triple doubles. That was her first, but that's incredible stuff for Caitlin Clark. What do you think? What did you make of it when that happened? Because she got hers pretty early too in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think WNBA history, it's always like you just want to take a moment and think, wow, like this has never been done. And it made me think honestly about Gino Ariema's comments last month, and he was talking about how Caitlin Clark was set up for failure before she could even start because of social media. He was like, this rookie class isn't even the best class in the past 10 years, but like social media has made them they need to be perfect or whatever. And I just feel like maybe I almost feel like he was selling this rookie class short in a way. Like, yes, they're not the best rookie class in the past 10 years, but they are a prolific group. I think that like just to what we're talking about right now, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, that's 2 records from rookies in 2 days. And it's like both of those players are appointment viewing at this point. Like, and it's, so I don't know. I don't want to I'm not trying to diss Gino, but that's honestly what I thought of when I watched it.
And how do we even define what's the best? What is that based on? Is that talent? Right. Is that what they do? Right. So that's a subjective thing anyway, but they are one of the most, you said prolific, notable.
Yeah. I mean,
very talented.
Prolific is a drag, but I will say the second thing that I thought of was also just like the Fever is getting so much better. And I think like, yes, offensively, we have the Caitlin Clark of it all, but like defensively, they have improved, because if you look back at those previous games against Liberty, they got blown the heck out again against New York a few times.
And they were down 11 points in this game and pulled off the comeback. So that showed tremendous poise.
Right. And that's another thing. So much poise. They were down 11 points in the 4th quarter and still seemed confident. I mean, I think that's super interesting. I think Chrissy Sides made a good point after the game, and she was like, Caitlin Clark found a rhythm tonight. The timing for our players is getting better. She mentioned that like Caitlin Clark's passing wasn't necessarily a fit for the team to start, but now the chemistry is there and that's improving. So I will say, I remember last time we talked about the Sky and the Fever, and I was like, I think that the Fever have more to work on than the Sky. And I think I might have been wrong, because I'm looking at all the ways that they've gotten better. I don't know. But then also like there was a lot to improve, and like you're kind of seeing it all at once. So I don't know, but I can eat crow proudly and say like, it's so cool to see them like put it all together.
And I don't think you need to eat crow. I mean, I think some of your concerns were about not their talent or that they had made improvements. It's about maybe some of the chemistry and body language stuff that we see, which a lot of people have seen it and pointed out. But like, look, when she got her record, you saw all of her teammates tweeting on social media supporting her. Aaliyah Boston, you saw Nalissa Smith, you saw Erica Wheeler, right? I mean, they were all up there. Temi did, right? Like, you know.
And I was cracking up at her Instagram caption. Like, you said a WNBA record, and your caption is she was like, fun was had with the girls. I'm like,
yeah. Okay. So, I mean, but look, they're shouting her out. So like this notion of like, just people making up stuff about, you know, this is not about her team, but like the other day, the thing happened with Jackie Young, and she helped her out, like, you know, tying her shoe to give Caitlin a little extra time. And I saw a lot of comments like, oh, hopefully more players will start to embrace her in this way. They've already embraced her. There was never an effing issue to begin with. This is the problem. And so it's let's dead all of that noise. The team is building, they're growing chemistry, and they look good. They look good. They are now in the 7th spot, and Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky, they're in the 8th
Right?
spot. Both teams have very close records. Both teams have challenging upcoming games, and they both check the box in beating top teams, right? Like the Storm losing to the Sky beating the Storm, and then the Aces, I mean, I'm sorry, the Fever beating
The
New
Heat.
York. So that was huge.